It might be unbelievable for you to draw this plan in less than 5 minutes, but you can do it if you'll be with me during this tutorial. Let's see it. To create your plan in twinkling of an eye, you need to use YQArch plugin. You can come to this YQArch plugin in this part. From the case of plain wall column section, you select on draw grid axis, or you can directly type ZXW. By clicking on this, I have the preview of my grid lines. In here, I have lines with the distance of in X direction and the lines with the distance in Y direction. In here, the units are in millimeters. So if I want to give, for example, the value of 4 meters between these two grid lines, I need to use 5,000 millimeters. As you see here, we have breadth for the values in X direction, and their order is from left to right. About the depth is the value distances in Y direction. The distances order are from the bottom to top. For example, I want to create this part. As you see, 4,000 means 4 meter. The first case that I have the distance between these two lines in X direction is 4 meter. Then it changed to 5 meters, then 4 meters. At the final is 6 meters. It's from left to right. Be careful when you give the value, you add the space between these values to inform that they are separate numbers. For the depth or the values in Y direction, as you see, we have 4 meter from the bottom to this line. It's 4 meter. Here, again, the same value of 4 meter. It increases to 5 meter. The final is 6 meters. So we understood this, and you need to check mark this draw axis symbols dimension to provide you the axis symbols too. By clicking OK, as you can see, by left clicking on this part, I have ready my grid lines with their symbols. In practical cases, if you know, we have the numbers, the letters from left to right in this direction and the numbers from top to bottom in this part. But there is no problem. We can change them manually. As you see, the distances are also compatible with the values that we gave. It was for the first step that we created it with one click. Now it's time to add the columns. We can come to this plain wall column section again. From here, arrange column, or we can type directly zzBZ. By clicking on this, I need to click on the size of the column. What is the size of the column? Imagine that all the columns have the same size of 50 centimeters. We can change them later, don't worry. I say for 500 millimeters because our values are in millimeter, and I say enter. From this part, now I need to select from the first point to the second point. As you see, all the columns are drew with just one click. The other step that we want to give more information is writing the name of each column beside that. For doing that, we can come to this YQArch section. In here, in the statistical tools, we have access to auto serial numbers, or you can type ABH. By clicking on this part, I can come and say that what I want my layers to be written. I want to, for example, pick from these cases, similar to the dimensions. In this part, it asks me, what is the first number that you want to start? It's number 1. And I want them to be increased because I want, say, for example, it's column 1, column 2, column 3. Then it asks me the step increment. I say I want them to be 1 by 1. Then if I want to have the prefix, I want my naming to be C as the representative of the column, then a dash, then the number of that column. So I say C dash, then the number which changes automatically. In here, if I want to add the frame to my numbers, I can easily, for example, say that I want circle to be around my text, or square, anything. I say no, I don't want anything else. Here it comes that from the point that you pick on this part, because here you can have different ways to select. For example, you can select the object offset from that object, it adds the text, but I want to use it as a pick points. We have different cases. We will do all of them and most of them in a practical way in the following tutorials, don't worry. I say, for example, pick point, and the offset that it needs to have from my pick point in X is 500 and in Y is 500. Here, be careful that it's the text height. I selected it as, for example, 300. By doing all these cases, I say, okay, I will come here. Now I select my pick points as the center of these columns. And by clicking on this, as you see, it's column 1, but it automatically changed to number 2. I can do one by one until it finishes. As you see, the numbers also change one by one. I will do them in a quick manner. I know that your question is how I can install the YQArch and how can I work with that. If you want to have this tutorial, comment below YQArch and wait for this onto our next tutorial. If you enjoyed, please push that thumb up and subscribe to our channel to be part of our community. And if it was useful for you, please share it to your friends to use this tutorial too. Thanks for watching, take care and goodbye.